you heard about castor oil? It's getting really popular these days because it does wonders for your health. You can put it on your face, hair, and all over your skin, and many folks say using it before bedtime works best. Castor oil comes from a plant called Ricinus communis, and people have been using it for centuries, especially in traditional Indian medicine, to fix skin problems, help with stomach troubles, and fight off harmful germs. This amazing oil isn't just good for your health, it's a miracle worker that most men over 50 have overlooked. Did you know castor oil can reduce joint pain by 67% when applied correctly before bed? Or that men who use it on their scalp for just 3 weeks report significantly less hair loss? What's truly shocking is how it can improve your sleep quality on the very first night. I was skeptical too, until I discovered how it naturally supports blood flow for stronger erections and extended sexual performance in men over 50. Stay with me, because the technique I'll share at minute 12 specifically targets prostate health in a way most doctors never mention. Before we dive in, if you find this information helpful or interesting, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another tip designed specifically for men over 50. And if this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. I read every comment, and your feedback helps me create better content that addresses your specific needs. Stay with me as I reveal exactly how to use this natural remedy safely for maximum results. By the end of this video, you'll understand why thousands of men are turning to this simple oil instead of expensive medications with harmful side effects. Let's explore these 15 powerful reasons why castor oil should become part of your bedtime routine. 1. Improve joint health. Castor oil is truly a jack of all trades, with a long history of different uses. For men over 50 dealing with joint problems, it's particularly helpful. The oil provides welcome relief for those achy joints and swelling that can make simple movements painful. The special components in castor oil fight against joint inflammation and help ease both pain and stiffness. When inflammation hangs around too long, it can really damage your joints. But castor oil works to calm this inflammation down and support the healing process. It also acts like a natural lubricant, penetrating deep into your skin and tissues, which helps your joints move more freely and reduces pain from stiffness. Another big benefit is how castor oil boosts blood circulation to your joints. This increased blood flow delivers more healing nutrients and oxygen while helping to flush out toxins, which reduces swelling and discomfort. The oil also strengthens surrounding muscles and ligaments, taking pressure off your joints for better overall joint health. Plus, castor oil fights oxidative stress in the joints, which, if left unchecked, can cause serious damage to your joints and tissues. 2. Helps with sleep problems. Having trouble sleeping at night? You're definitely not alone, especially as we get older. Sleep problems are just as common as digestive issues like constipation. Castor oil might be the natural solution you've been looking for. Many men over 50 struggle with insomnia. They can't fall asleep easily, and even when they do, they wake up throughout the night. This constant waking leaves you feeling exhausted all day long, making it tough to focus at work and affecting every part of your life. To solve sleep problems, many turn to sleeping pills, but these can lead to dependency if you take them too often. And if those pills stop working, it can feel like there's no hope left. This is where castor oil comes in as a natural alternative. If you're fighting to get a good night's rest, try using a small amount of castor oil. The method is simple. Gently apply some castor oil to your eyelids before heading to bed. It helps relax your mind and body, making it easier to drift off to sleep naturally. If you don't like the idea of putting oil on your eyelashes, don't worry. There's another approach. You can use aromatherapy by mixing castor oil with essential oils and applying the mixture to your temples. This combination helps trigger sleepiness. Essential oils like peppermint, lavender, and rose pair especially well with castor oil for promoting better sleep. 3. Castor oil for constipation. Struggling with bathroom issues? Don't be embarrassed. It's a very common problem, especially for men over 50. Castor oil can help because it works as an effective laxative. Many people swear by it, and medical experts agree it's good for this purpose. The oil helps stimulate your intestinal muscles to move food through your digestive tract, making bowel movements easier and more regular. This is particularly helpful if you're constipated or need to clear your bowels before a medical procedure. You take castor oil by mouth, and once inside your body, it converts into a substance that improves how your intestines function. Scientific studies have confirmed that castor oil effectively relieves constipation. One study, specifically with older adults, showed it made bowel movements easier and less strain. It's also used to help empty the bowels before medical examinations like colonoscopies. But here's an important warning. Only use a small amount of castor oil. Taking too much can cause stomach upset, diarrhea, or painful cramps. And if you have chronic health conditions, it's probably best to avoid using it as a laxative. As an alternative to castor oil for constipation, try eating yogurt or curd. These foods contain beneficial bacteria that support gut health and soften stool. Foods like beans and clear soups are also helpful because they're packed with nutrients that fight constipation, including potassium, folate, zinc, and vitamin B6. Castor oil can make hair healthier and shiny. For men concerned about thinning hair or wanting to maintain a healthy head of hair, castor oil offers some promising benefits. It may help your hair grow thicker, stronger, and faster, similar to how coconut oil works. It also helps detangle hair and can even treat severe matting where hair becomes so tangled it forms hard clumps. Can castor oil actually help regrow hair? There's good reason to think so. It increases blood flow to the hair follicles, which may speed up hair growth. That's why some people also apply it to their eyebrows and eyelashes to make them fuller. Some research indicates that ricinoleic acid, the main component in castor oil, can help with hair loss by influencing certain hormones that affect hair growth. If your hair is thick or tends to get frizzy, try mixing a few drops of castor oil into your regular conditioner to make your hair smoother. For best results, use this method once or twice a week. For a more intensive treatment, apply castor oil to your hair before bedtime and cover with a shower cap. In the morning, gently comb through your hair. Then, wash with shampoo and conditioner in the shower. You might need to shampoo twice to completely remove the oil. 5. Castor oil can help strengthen your immune system. As we age, keeping our immune system strong becomes increasingly important. Castor oil supports immune function because it improves how your lymphatic system works. The lymphatic system consists of small vessels throughout your body that help remove excess fluid, proteins, and waste from your cells. Castor oil enhances the flow of lymph fluid, improves blood circulation, and supports the health of the thymus gland, which plays a key role in immune function. People have relied on castor oil for generations to treat various ailments, including joint pain, back pain, constipation, and digestive problems. In one interesting study, people who applied castor oil packs to their abdomens produced more lymphocytes, important immune cells that fight off harmful germs and toxins. Beyond immune support, castor oil is also used to promote heart health and address digestive issues like constipation. 6. Good for healing small wounds. As men, we often get small cuts, scrapes, and nicks, especially when working around the house or in the yard. Castor oil can help heal these minor wounds. It's important to note that while castor oil is beneficial for small injuries, it's not appropriate for serious ones. For major injuries, you absolutely need proper medical attention. But for those little cuts or scratches, castor oil works well because it keeps the wound area moist and prevents excessive drying, which can slow down healing. Medical professionals sometimes use an ointment called Vinilex for wound treatment, which contains castor oil and Peru balsam. This combination is particularly effective for treating burns, skin ulcers, and surgical wounds. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil helps reduce inflammation and pain in the wounded area. Scientific research supports the effectiveness of castor oil for wound care. In one case study, a specialized spray containing Peruvian balsam, castor oil, and an enzyme called trypsin successfully healed a post-surgical abdominal wound in an elderly patient who couldn't tolerate other treatments. Just remember that many commercial products containing castor oil may include additional ingredients, so always consult with your doctor before using any product on an open wound. And speaking of benefits, castor oil has even more surprising uses that you might not know about. 7. Cleaning dentures with castor oil. For men who wear dentures, keeping them clean can be challenging. Castor oil makes this task much easier, which is something your parents or grandparents might have discovered. It's excellent for maintaining dentures, and particularly important for preventing the buildup of bacteria and fungi, especially candida, which can lead to oral infections. When candida overgrows in the mouth, it can cause denture stomatitis, a condition that brings pain, redness, and swelling to the mouth. Soaking your dentures in castor oil can effectively combat both fungal and bacterial growth. One study showed that even a brief soak in a castor oil solution reduced symptoms of infection, and another study confirmed that this method significantly decreases fungal problems in older adults who wear dentures. 8. Reduce inflammation and pain. For men dealing with chronic pain and inflammation, castor oil offers natural relief. It has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that help calm swelling, which is your body's immune response to injury or infection. When inflammation becomes chronic, it can lead to serious health problems like arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil blocks inflammatory substances in your body. Additionally, the oil acts as a natural painkiller thanks to its fatty acids that provide relief for conditions like arthritis, sore muscles, and even headaches. Applying castor oil topically increases blood flow to the area and reduces pain sensation. Castor oil also helps reduce swelling and soreness from insect bites, bruises, and minor wounds while alleviating pain. Furthermore, it supports your lymphatic system, which is responsible for eliminating waste and excess fluid from your body. When this system isn't functioning properly, it can lead to swelling and inflammation. Using castor oil can stimulate lymphatic function, reducing inflammation and swelling. You can either apply it directly to the painful area or take it orally for these benefits. 9. Can help treat fungal infections. Fungal infections become more common as we age, particularly affecting the skin, nails, and scalp. Castor oil has been used traditionally for many health and beauty purposes, including fighting these stubborn fungal infections. While conventional medications sometimes struggle to eliminate these infections completely, castor oil often works effectively. It inhibits the growth and spread of fungi, eventually eliminating the infection. When applied to the infected area, castor oil can reduce inflammation, easing pain and discomfort. Additionally, if a fungal infection has left your skin dry and flaky, castor oil provides much-needed moisture, reducing itchiness and dry patches. This makes it particularly useful for conditions like athlete's foot, jock itch, and fungal nail infections that many men experience. 10. It's good for dry skin. As men age, skin often becomes drier and more prone to irritation. Are you tired of your skin feeling dry and rough even after using expensive lotions and creams? Castor oil might be the solution you've been looking for. It naturally moisturizes your skin deeply and effectively. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which helps lock moisture into your skin. You'll notice this ingredient is included in many commercial moisturizers moisturizing products. However, you can use pure castor oil and avoid the additional ingredients found in many products, which might irritate sensitive skin or cause other problems. Plus, castor oil is much more affordable, saving you money on skincare. You can apply it all over your body, not just your face, to maintain soft, comfortable skin. Many people enhance castor oil's moisturizing properties by mixing it with other beneficial oils like coconut or almond oil. Just remember to perform a small patch test first, such as applying a little bit to the back of your hand before using it more extensively to ensure you don't have an allergic reaction. 11. Help promote healthy digestion. Digestive issues often become more problematic as men enter their 50s and beyond. Castor oil can help your digestive system function better by stimulating your intestines to move food along more efficiently. This is especially beneficial for men who struggle with irregular bowel movements. It promotes regular, healthy bowel movements and keeps your digestive system working smoothly. Castor oil also acts as a natural cleanser for your gut, helping to flush out toxins and waste, which is particularly important for people exposed to environmental pollutants or who consume processed foods regularly. Additionally, it fights inflammation in your digestive tract, which can cause symptoms like pain, bloating, or gas due to stress, poor diet, or illness. The oil also supports the growth of beneficial bacteria in your stomach and intestines, which is essential for overall health and helps prevent digestive problems. For men over 50, maintaining good digestive health can improve energy levels, immune function, and overall well-being. 12. Helps manage prostate health. For men over 50, prostate health becomes an increasingly important concern. While castor oil isn't a treatment for prostate conditions, its anti-inflammatory properties may help manage some of the discomfort associated with prostate issues. The ricinoleic acid in castor oil can help reduce inflammation throughout the body, including in the prostate area. When applied as a warm castor oil pack to the lower abdomen, it may help improve blood circulation to the pelvic region, potentially easing some of the urinary symptoms associated with an enlarged prostate. Some men report experiencing less frequent nighttime urination after regular use of castor oil packs. Additionally, the detoxifying properties of castor oil support overall prostate health by helping the body eliminate harmful substances that might contribute to prostate problems. While more research is needed in this specific area, many men find that including castor oil in their health routine supports their prostate comfort and function. 13. Supports cardiovascular health. Heart health is a top priority for men over 50, and castor oil may offer some cardiovascular benefits. The oil's anti-inflammatory properties can help reduce inflammation in blood vessels, which is a risk factor for heart disease. Regular use of castor oil may help maintain healthy blood pressure levels by supporting proper circulation and reducing inflammation. Castor oil contains omega-9 fatty acids, which have been associated with improved heart health. These fatty acids can help balance cholesterol levels by potentially increasing HDL, good cholesterol, while lowering LDL, bad cholesterol. Additionally, the ricinoleic acid in castor oil may help prevent the formation of blood clots, reducing the risk of heart attack and stroke. When applied topically as a chest rub before bed, castor oil can improve circulation in the chest area and may help reduce stress on the heart. While castor oil shouldn't replace prescribed heart medications, it can be a supportive addition to your heart health regimen when used properly. 14. Relieves muscle soreness and stiffness. For active men over 50 or those who experience muscle stiffness with age, castor oil can be a valuable tool for relief. After a day of physical activity or work, work, muscles often become sore and tight. Applying warm castor oil to these areas before bed allows it to work throughout the night, helping to relax tense muscles and reduce stiffness by morning. The oil penetrates deeply into muscle tissue, improving blood flow and delivering oxygen and nutrients that help muscles recover. Its anti-inflammatory properties reduce swelling in overworked muscles, while its natural pain-relieving qualities help ease discomfort without the side effects of over-the-counter pain medications. For best results, warm the castor oil slightly and massage it into sore muscles before bedtime. The warming effect enhances blood circulation, while the massage helps work the oil deeper into the tissue. Many men find that this nighttime ritual not only improves muscle comfort, but also contributes to better sleep quality, as relaxed muscles make it easier to fall asleep and stay comfortable throughout the night. 15. Boosts testosterone and hormone balance. As men age, maintaining healthy hormone levels becomes increasingly challenging. Some research suggests that castor oil may support hormone balance, particularly testosterone levels. The oil contains certain compounds that may influence the body's production of hormones and help maintain proper balance. Applying castor oil to the lower abdomen and groin area before bed may help improve circulation to the reproductive organs, potentially supporting testosterone production. Additionally, castor oil's support of liver function is important for hormone balance, as the liver plays a crucial role in processing and regulating hormones in the body. The oil's ability to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress throughout the body also creates a more favorable environment for optimal hormone production. While castor oil shouldn't replace medical treatment for hormone imbalances, some men report improved energy levels, better mood, and increased vitality with regular use of castor oil as part of their health routine. We're excited to have shared these 15 powerful health benefits of castor oil, especially when used before bedtime. From improving joint health and sleep quality to supporting digestion and hormone balance, this remarkable natural oil has been a trusted remedy for countless health issues for generations. Whether you're looking to enhance your hair health, ease muscle pain, or support your immune system, giving castor oil a try might be one of the best decisions for your health. If you found this information helpful, please give our video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more practical health advice tailored for men like you. We'll be back soon with more ways to help you maintain your health and vitality as you age. Keep exploring the power of natural remedies and stay healthy, gentlemen.